Start on the passenger side, engine compartment. You got your air intake securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You got your windshield wiper fluid securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking and it's filled to an operating range. You have your turbo securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have your turbo wires are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have your coolant reservoir securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's filled to an operating range and it is not leaking. You have your coolant hoses are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. They're not leaking. No cuts, no abrasions, no bulges. You have your water pump securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking. It's belt driven, and the serpentine belt doesn't have any more than 3/4 of an inch of play. You have your radiator securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking. And my radiator hoses as well are leaking. Securely mounted, no cuts, no abrasions, no bulges. You have the inside of the driver's side engine compartment. You got the air compressor securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking any air and it is gear driven. You have your air hoses are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. There's no cuts, no abrasions, no bulges. They're not leaking. You have your power steering reservoir is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking and it's filled to an operating range. You have your power steering pump hose. There's no cuts, no abrasions, no bulges. It's not leaking. You have your power steering pump is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking and it is gear driven. You have your oil dipstick. I would pull it out, wipe it off, reinsert it, pull it back out to make sure it's at an operating level, and then I'd reinsert it. You have your alternator securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's belt driven. You have your alternator wires are no cuts, no frays. They're securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have your serpentine belt. It's no more than 3/4 of an inch play. I think I said it, but I'm gonna say it again. The alternator is belt driven. You have your steering shaft securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, and it doesn't have any more than 10 degrees of play. You have your gearbox is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking and it is gear driven. You have your gearbox hoses. They're not leaking. No cuts, no abrasions, no bulges. You have your pitman arms securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have your castle nut and cotter key securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have your drag link securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have your tie rod, you have your castle nut and cotter key securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have your tie rod securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have your steering knuckles securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have your front hanger securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have your leaf springs securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. There's no scissoring, which would indicate that they're broken. You have your U-bolts securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have your shock absorber securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking. You have your rear hangers securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have your front axle securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have your ABS line. This is it right here. No cuts, no frays. You have your air hose securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking. You have your brake chamber securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking any air. You have your brake the rotor securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It doesn't have any bluing, which would indicate heat, and there's no grease or debris on it. You have your brake pads are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. They're not worn dangerously thin, and there's no less than 1/4 of an inch. You have the inside of the tire, no cuts, no abrasions, no bulges. You have the top of the tire, no cuts, no abrasions, no bulges. It's worn evenly thin and has a minimum tread depth of 4/30 seconds. You have the outside of the tires securely mounted, no cuts, no abrasions, no bulges. You have the rims securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. No illegal welds. You have the valve stem securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. I don't hear any leaks, and I would check it with the pressure gauge to make sure it's filled up to the proper level. I have the lug nuts, no rust trails or shiny threads, which would indicate looseness. They're securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. I have the hub and the hub seal are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking, and it's filled to the operating range. Let's close the hood. Alright. So, like I said, try to work from the top to the bottom. We're going to start with the top. We got the side mirror bracket and side mirrors securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. We got the handrail securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. We have the outside handle securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. The inside securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have the door hinges securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have the door seal is intact, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have the DOT stickers are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. They're all up to date, good to go. You have your three-way function light, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. Amber in color, it works properly, clean and clear. You have your batteries underneath here, are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. They're not leaking. You have your air tank, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, and I don't hear any leaks. I have my steps are free to breathe, clean and clear, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. We have the def tank. It's securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking. We have the def tank strap, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. We have the def tank itself. It's filled to an operating level, which is no less than 1/8 of a tank. The cap's securely tight and it has the tether. It's good to go. Securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. We have the diesel tank, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking any fuel. We have the fuel tank straps, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. We have the def tank, not the def tank, the fuel tank. We got the gas cap. It's securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. We have the fuel cap, rubber seal, and the chain are attached, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. Man, stuck on the desk. So we have the catwalk. It's securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. This is the catwalk here. Mm-hmm. We have the headache rack. Securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. I didn't forget anything here. Well, that's good. So catwalk, headache rack. So I like to start up here. We have the emergency line, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. Don't hear any leaks. Got the service brake, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. Don't hear any leaks. We got the glide hands themselves on both of them. Are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. Don't hear any leaking. You have the electrical cord, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. No cuts or frays. It's plugged in and it's secure correctly. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. Securely mounted. We have enough slack in between these lines to clear turns. Next, we have the drive shaft is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. We have the frame securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. No illegal welds. You have the cross members are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have the wires, the electrical lines, and the air hoses from the front of the truck to the rear of the truck. They're all securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. There's no cuts or frays. They're not leaking. Like I said, you have the drive shaft, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have the differential is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have the rear axle, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You got the torque arm, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have the airbag, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. There's no leaking. You have the shock, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking. You have the air hose going to the brake chamber. It's securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have the brake, and I don't hear any leaks. You got the brake chamber, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. I don't hear any leaks. You got the front hanger, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have the leaf springs, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, no scissoring. You have the U-bolts, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have the shock absorber, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, is not leaking. So back to in here, You have the rotor securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. No bluing, which would indicate signs of heat. You have, and there's no grease or anything on there. You have the brake pads securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. Has a minimum of a quarter of an inch, and they're not worn dangerously thin. You have the inside of the tire right here, no cuts, no abrasions, no bulges. You have the top of the tire is worn evenly thin, and it has a minimum tread depth of 2 seconds. You have the duals, nothing in between the duals. They're both securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. There's no debris or anything. There's no spacing in between the duals. Same thing with this tire. It's got a minimum tread depth of 2 seconds, worn evenly thin, no cuts, no abrasions, no bulges. You have the rim itself. No legal welds, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have the lug nuts securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. No rust trails or shiny threads, which would indicate looseness. You have the hub and the hub seal securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking. It's at an operating range. You have the valve stem securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking. I would check with the pressure gauge to make sure it's working. Yep. And then you have your mud flap securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have your DOT tape on that, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have your lights on the rear of the tractor. You got your right, left, four-way flashers, brake light, all securely mounted, red in color, not cracked, bent, or broken, clean and clear. You have your reverse light. It's securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, white in color. You have your license plate light, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have your license plate. It's up to date, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. So that's when I said the tractor itself. I mean, you can consider the skid plate one way or another, part of the tractor or part of the trailer, whatever. But that's like me done with that, you know, with the tractor part.
Right.
So next thing you would have the platform is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. All the hardware is there. It's like I said, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have the skid plate itself. It's securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. There's no space between the apron and the skid plate. Is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. The apron itself is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. The skid plate is properly greased, and the release handle is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. The release handle, it has the locking jaw, and the locking jaw is secured around the kingpin and the shank. It's locked in place, not going anywhere. This is a sliding skid plate, and it is air operated. I don't hear any leaks. It's securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. The skid plate is all the way to the rear and securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. That way I can clear turns. The release handle, I don't know if it said it, but the release handle itself is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. The locking pins are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, and they're locked in place as well. So we'll start right here. We got the headache rack, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. We have the clearance lights are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have the bed, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You got the trailer frame, is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have the cross members in the trailer, are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have the air lines from the front of the trailer to the rear of the trailer, all securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. Again, when you are inspecting this, just make sure you're pointing out, you know, cross members, the frame, no illegal welds, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You got your DOT tape, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. I might have said this, so I'm just going through it again. You got your straps, your unique items, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You got your landing gear. It's securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not missing any hardware. It's properly greased. The handle is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's stowed in the proper position, and the landing gear is all the way up to clear, you know, railroads or whatever else. Yes. So like I mentioned, you got your air lines and electrical lines leading to the back. Your air lines are leading to the air tank is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. I don't hear any leaks. You have your airbags are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have, and they're not leaking. You have your shock is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking. You have your rear end, your rear axle is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have a torque arm securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have your air hoses leading to the brake chamber. They're securely mounted, no cuts, no abrasions, no bulges. Don't hear any leaks. You have the brake chamber itself is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. I don't hear any leaks. You have your push rod and slack adjuster securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. And there's no more than 1 inch of travel. You have the inside of the tire securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. And don't hear any leaks, no cuts, no abrasions, no bulges. The top of the tire is worn evenly thin. No less than 30 seconds of tread depth. The inside of my duals, there's no spaces, there's no debris. Everything's securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. I have the top of the inside of the tire, no cuts, no abrasions, no bulges, don't hear any leaks. I got the top of the tire, minimum tread depth of 230 seconds on it as well. That's worn evenly, no cuts, no abrasions, no bulges. Outside, same thing, no cuts, no abrasions, no bulges, don't hear any leaks. The rim itself is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, no illegal welds. I have the hub and hub seal is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking, it's at an operating range. I have my lug nuts are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. No rust trails or shiny threads, which would indicate looseness. I have the valve stem securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. Don't hear any leaking. I would check with the tire pressure gauge to make sure it's filled to the proper level. You have the mud flap securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have the ABS light, amber in color, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have the DOT bumper, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. DOT tape is intact, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. You have the license plate light. It is not securely mounted. It is not mounted properly. I would report that to maintenance. My license plate is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's up to date. You have your right, left, four-way flashers and brake lights. Red in color, clean and clear, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. And that's the outside.
Sweet.